Hey everybody, Josh here. So today I'm just gonna do some of my. I gotta fix my mic. There we go. Sorry. So today I'm just gonna do a little bit of my routine. I've got basically three segments. I do the oh, what's his face? Well-known guy. Can't think of it right now. I think I got his paper of him in here. Let's see. Ray Mace. I do his three-part thing. Maintenance 20 to 30 minutes, technique 60 to 90 minutes, and then musical 30 to 45 minutes. It's a good good way to go about it. So, I mean, he's the guy, you know, or one of the main guys, so good advice. But I don't just do it for classical stuff. I apply it to jazz, I apply it to whatever. So first, got my warm-up, you know, basically long tones, lip slurs, and scales. I do a little bit on my tuba mouthpiece and my trombone mouthpiece for the long tones. I'm going way down to help with my aperture, get my aperture right. Basically, as far as the aperture goes, I'm trying to just make it feel where it just clicks in, no matter where I'm at. So, what I'm playing, and once I get that it's dialed in, I can play high easily, low easily, whatever. But if I don't have it dialed in, things get different depending on what the range is. So that's why sometimes I remember growing up and I'd see guys where I was like, oh my god, they don't even look like they're trying. Well, that's because once you get that straight, it's a whole different ballgame. So aperture matters a lot. Anyway, this is what I do. First I gotta find my C. Oh, sorry about that. Not sure. Not sure if you could hear that. Hopefully you could. I mean, I'll do my bass trumpet mouthpiece, a little bit smaller. So it kind of goes from like here to smaller to smaller. It really helps me feel the muscle groups that are really working, because it's not just this, you know, it's the muscles around it. This kind of how to feel it and bring it in. And you, sorry, I know you couldn't hear me. um, Doing this is, you know, the muscles that support the embouchure are around here. They're not just here with the trumpet mouthpiece, you know, here. So, using the bigger tuba mouthpiece helps me to really feel that and utilize it in a proper way. And then, you know, just doing that and bringing it in with the end of the bass trumpet mouthpiece, and then from there to my overall mouthpiece, I have a really much better sense of the overall balance of my embouchure and how my aperture is working and all that. So makes a huge difference for me. So that's that part. Then we go on to my normal mouthpiece, but on my C trumpet, because it's got the shorter slide to do a vented valve exercise. Now we're going to do the vented valve exercise on my C trumpet, which means I pull out the first valve slide, but then put only the top back in, not the bottom. Kind of hold it like that. Let's see. what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate the horn and the bell, and that kind of brings that sensibility of what I was doing with my aperture and the mouthpiece, setting that up to the horn, you know, with the slide here, without getting into as much of the full reflection of the horn, you know, and being like, oh, okay, helps connect that. I feel like buzzing the lead pipe's fine, but this seems to bring that particular connection about a lot better, a lot more gracefully. I also use a tuner to make sure G is working. Up. Ooh, okay. So what I'm doing is I'm dialing in the pitch on the tuner, but I'm also at the same time I'm making my aperture work for both those notes in tune, which at first it was really sharp on one and flat on the other, and slowly you get to that balance in the middle. A lot of it has to do with overblowing the aperture. Now you can get the aperture right and widen it to make bigger sounds and some things like that, but to start off, to just be in tune and have everything click in, this is what you do. Now I'm going to go from this, a little bit more of this, into violin lip slurs, lip flexibilities. And it's very, very basic, very simple, again with the tuner. I got just a little timer there for my routine, so I don't play too long, too short, whatever. Oh. Another thing you might see me doing, the teeth. Sometimes if you feel like this isn't quite right with your position or your angle, go like this. You can see kind of where the horn wants to rest, where it kind of connects to both of them the best way possible for you. Some people say you gotta slide your bottom teeth forward, and if see, I have a pretty deep mouthpiece. I play a straight 8, so that kind of helps fix that a little bit. So you don't need to do as much of this because the cup's deeper instead of your teeth having to be like perfect. Which I really like. But if you're playing, like I remember I was playing on a John Hagstrom mouthpiece, and it was only once I started doing that kind of thing that I felt like I could do everything like other people, or well, like I had like a certain level I got to, but I couldn't like break through it, and that was what it was. So doing that kind of thing really. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that quite as much doing this with a straight 8. Just Put a little extra note in there, but it's just ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, 2, 3, 4. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, 2, 3, 4. Just so you know, that's the actual exercise. And you go down chromatically, so. The other thing I'm thinking about is the standing wave. So then once you get doing all this, you start connecting the horn better. You can feel basically how the horn pushes back on you, the resistance, the pressure of the horn, the reflection of the horn, the standing wave to the bell, whatever you want to call it. It's a bunch of different things. But you can feel how it comes to there and pushes back on your face. You know, there's different pressure. So what we do is we stay just in front of that pressure to just ahead of it. Not too far, because I'm blowing too hard and stuff like that, or a lot out of tune. Not too little. Just right. And that'll help lock in all your notes, all your pitches. So that's also what I'm trying to do with this exercise. And if it's not quite right, sometimes you're doing what you think you should. I haven't practiced right in a couple days. Been really busy. So sometimes I gotta loosen up a little bit more here. And that helps a lot. Thing I just found in myself right there for a quick fix. I was taking breaths just for the phrase, but a better way to do it that I've only started doing, really being conscious of for the last probably month or so on and off. It's breathing from here, out and back, not up here, down and back. That makes all the difference. Not a huge breath, but the right kind of breath. And the thing about this loosening up, all that kind of stuff, it's really, I guess I'd say, like, you know, people say you relax, you execute stuff better. There's no unnecessary tension or tightened muscles throughout wherever that are kind of hindering the process. That is the point. Kind of like how people would do Alexander technique and things like that. Yoga, all that is trying to relax and make things work properly. And again, I just want to say, back in the day, before I really kind of understood this stuff better, I just like, oh, just blow big and full and it'll just lock in tune. And sometimes that's right. But if you do that for this, and then you go to play your upper register or do some other things, you get playing for a while on the horn, start to notice things start bouncing around a little bit. So, saying, oh yeah, I'm good for this, whatever. Did my warm up, it was in tune. I mean, that's good too. But, you know, you want to set yourself up for your whole day, not just for playing in tune for your warm up and then whatever, you know? Still a little, oh, what's the word? Stiff from not having my routine for a couple days. Been feeling a little under the weather, getting better now, but it's coming back. A little trouble with that one. That's got the little bit of a slide, but not too much. Getting this right, getting stuff in tune. Um, the other thing that I didn't mention yet is wintertime. I live upstate New York. Tons of snow. Very dry climate's not great for trumpet playing this time of year. So I haven't been using chapstick for a couple days either, and I'm feeling a little bit of that hindrance. So I gotta get back into that. Makes a big difference. I use Burt's Bees. It's got the natural stuff. Chapstick, I notice, kind of has like a really kind of just dries me out. Actually, it works well. It's on there for just a little bit, but whatever it's made out of, it builds like a dependency. Makes your lips worse over time. I think Blistex, the same kind of deal. So, Burt's Bees though is great. And when you do the flapping like I just did, you do all of it, not just here, like some people do. You want to get your cheeks. All that. See? again, when I started doing this, sorry if you don't like me talking a lot about explain all this. And this could too, because if my chops were in a little bit better shape right now, I would probably just click in a little easier. But that's why I go back through it. You don't just fly through these things. I got a timer set. I got 16 minutes. I got time. You don't just cruise through it. You do it for this awareness and to make sure you're doing it right for horn playing. So it's not just about muscles. You got to make sure you're in tune at different dynamics. Flexibility's there. It's coming out, speaking clearly. Obviously I had some trouble with that with this part just now. So luckily, there's another segment to move on. I'm going to give my lips a little bit of rest, and then we'll get to that. And that's the slurring portion. The kind of extending up to G and then down to low F sharp. You'll see how that goes in a sec. But right now I'm going to take a break for about 2 minutes. I have my timer. Going over there for the whole practice session. And you can use apps like Seconds Pro. I've had routines saved. I still do. Use them sometimes I don't. On there. But I'm going to just use my cell phone and hit 2 minutes and go. And then when that goes off, I'll do some more. So, suppose this would be a good time for me to ask if you have any questions. If I had a stream, if this was a stream, then maybe I'll start doing that in the future, but I could actually interact and answer some questions while I'm, right here with some free time. But anyway, while I'm waiting for this additional minute and 26 seconds, I'm going to get a soda. So stay with me. I'll be right back. About 30 seconds to spare. It's not a Pepsi commercial. Cherry Pepsi. It's pretty much where it's at. Dr. Pepper sometimes, but the cherry Coke is like, oh, sorry. Seems more refreshing to me if I'm actually thirsty. Of course, drinking water is a heck of a lot better, but alright, let's get to it. So we were just on our C trumpet, and you could do that on your B flat, by the way. That's fine. Now we're moving to the B flat. And this is the Vince slurs portion. I've uploaded a similar version of that on here. I'm not sure if I put the actual original Vince slurs up. Feel free to go ahead and message me if you need them. So for this, I got to get my my drone, and actually a good way to do it, I'm going to use the tonal energy tuner on my cell phone, because that's very easy to turn a drone on or off pretty quickly of any note that you choose. with the sustain function here. So that's what I'm going to do. First one will be B flat or C. Let's see. I'm trying my volume. Is that the? Oh, that's not it. I'm going to make sure I transpose, do the transposition for B flat trumpet. There we go. Now I should be. Put the octave the right way. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to do a sustain with that and play. Like bagpipes. So now that's that one. Now, yeah, of course this moves much too fast to be able to do every one of those notes if you're trying to really do it this way. You got to do it kind of quick. This is about getting that nimbleness and moving around easily, you know. So yeah. So that's why we use a drone instead of putting the tuner there and being like, oh, dee doo dee dee doo doo doo. You're not gonna be able to see the notes that fast. Oop. There we go. I'm going to go down to the next one, B flat. Oh, and that's a good thing about the tonal energy tuner is not only can you see that pitch there, but if you do want to slow down on some of the pitches like you hear me doing, it does have also the listing for whether you're in tune or not with it. How many cents sharp or flat to it you are. Now another thing you can do is you can try to do a lip trill at the end. You gotta do it really. This helps, you know, if you're really focused or not. And this is easier to do on the next exercise that's higher, but you can do a little bit of it here if you want. So what I'm doing is aiming right for the middle of those two notes. It's not perfect right now, but because it'll go on its own kinda if you get it just right. But you get the idea anyway. Oh, I'm breathing down and back still. You gotta keep reminding yourself. There's a little bit of that natural trill I was talking about. Only two more. Part of the thing about that trill is that it'll set you up for when you're playing higher, so you can play light and you can still hit these different notes, but without that much effort. And of course, we all want to play kind of effortlessly if we can. So this helps encourage that. That was the automatic lip trill I've been going for. Of course, that's at the very end of the whole thing, which is great because now we're going to be moving on to next thing. We're going to take another break where we really need that for the higher register. And of course, in some ways, it's easier up there. The partials are closer together. But it's got its own little bit of challenges there. Anyway. Oh, and I do want to say that I got this routine from one of my old teachers. I didn't make this routine. I connected a lot of these dots. I saw the routine like basically just laid out doing these things. I figured out kind of the purpose with this trill stuff. A lot of the physical reasoning and things like that I talked about, I kind of just saw the stuff posted by one of my former professors. So I don't know if he wants me to be telling his name, so I won't do that. If he wants credit, I'll definitely give him credit, whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to take a little break. And this will be the last part of, big part of the warm-up. Excuse me. Woo. Coke gas. Um, as far as drinking soda, I know for a fact that Johnny Hodges, the director and lead trumpet player of the Big Apple Circus in New York City, plays a bunch of other stuff, movies and stuff too. He brings a big thing of soda with him to at least rehearsals for gigs, and so that you can have the coldness of it all help with swelling for his chops, which is kind of interesting. Little side note. Of course, you could use water or whatever too. Caffeine, sugar helps with energy getting through the gig too, I suppose. Oh no. Only got 40 seconds left or something like that on my timer, but for the whole 30-minute routine. Yeah, I could do this shorter, like I said, but not right now. I gotta work it back up again. And I am, as you can hear. But yeah, this next part's really quick anyway. It doesn't take very long, so. And we don't want to spend a lot of time up in the upper register because that's not where most of our playing is, right? It's mostly money notes, right? Kind of the notes that were in the last exercise we did. Basically, G on top of staff to down, down to C, a little bit below. Oh no, there goes my timer. So anyway, we're done with that, but I guess I can get back to it. Oh. And I just had a thought. If anybody wants to do like a class on this stuff, like a warm-up, work on this together kind of thing, feel free to let me know. Just drop me a message, shoot me a message on here. I've got my trumpet website, trumpetjosh.com. I'm on Instagram, Trumpeter Josh, I think. Somebody had the other one. But yeah, you can find me one way or another on all these things. Oh yeah, and my email is trumpetjosh@icloud.com. So yeah, maybe we'll do that on here sometime. Maybe we'll do like some kind of group class posting for just going through even like this routine, Yeah. So, all right. Oh. Now for this one, we're also going to use a drone because again, it uses these partials where it kind of bounces up, but you still hear the fundamental pitch in your head. Remember breathing down back. And then at the end, you can shoot back up again and then back all the way low down, all the way if you want to. Woo! Gotta register. Like that kind of thing, if you want to. But that's extra lip work. I don't really think that it's totally necessary. with all the other things we already did. But something else you can do. Yeah, that's up to the G, you know. I think that's probably enough. I could probably do a couple more, but with bringing my chops back slowly but surely here, just kind of get back in shape. I don't wanna push it too hard. I don't wanna mess stuff up. So I think we'll leave it there for today. Thanks for listening, watching if you did, and yeah, let me know what you think. And I just really enjoy engaging on here with people and talking and being part of this community. So yeah, thanks again for being here, and forward to talking with you.